Hey, what's going on, Poke fans? So welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. In today's video, we'll be looking at Lost March deck updated with some, Rebel Clash cards like, Scoop Up Net, Boss Order, and many more. Let's just, talk a little bit about Lost March and why this deck is really cool and also pretty dope at this moment because, we have some new cards. Scoop Up Net and Whimsicott, as well as Cotone, so we can hit for the knockout 80p easily and take 3 price cards. We can use Prowl and search the deck for any specific card that we need the moment we evolve Cotone into Whimsicott, and basically that's what makes this deck so special. Also, Oricorio is a very good add-on for this deck, as well as the DNGX, but the Boss Order also makes this deck so good right now because we can just discard cards, Pokemons in the Lost Zone, and for each Pokemon in the Lost Zone, Lost March attack will be increased for 20. It will be 20 times the amount of the Lost March Pokemons in the Lost Zone, and with the Boss Order we can simply catch something on our opponent bench for the one-hit knockout. And that's pretty much the strategy. Throw the Pokemons in the Lost Zone and hit as much as you can. So in order to discard Pokemons in the Lost Zone, of course we have Florapat to the Sky and Skiploom, Hoppip, and Jumpluff lineup. So technically speaking, with Skiploom, Florapat to the Sky, we are discarding 2 Pokemons in the Lost Zone. Trumpix can also be used with the Mountain Pass for that discardment, so technically speaking that can be 4 extra Pokemons in the Lost Zone, and with 4 more Lost Blenders, up to 8 Pokemons can also be discarded in the Lost Zone. So technically speaking, that's plenty of Pokemons, but that's not the end because there's the Entei, and the Entei says that once your opponent knocks your fairy Pokemon during your opponent's last turn, you can just put 2 cards from your discard pile back in your hand, which means that you can grab another Lost Blender, throw additional 2 Pokemons in the Lost Zone, and increase the damage for a little bit more. With 30 Pokemons in the deck, technically we can have 29 of them in the Lost Zone, and we can hit for 580 damage just by having, let's say, 1 Cotone or 1 Jumpluff in play, which is just insane. So let's go quickly through the deck list, and then I will play a couple of games so you can actually see the deck in the action. So starting with 4 Trumpix, then 4-3 line of Cotone and Whimsicott. So Cotone will be our main attacking Pokemon for 40, with 40 HP, and with the Lost March attack that says this attack does 20 damage for each of your opponents. For each of your Pokemon, expect Prism Star in the Lost Zone. We also have 3 Prowl Whimsicotts as a tag for that, ability. 1 Eldegoss Sweep for the Happy Match, 4-4-4 lineup of the Jumpluff, 1 the DNGX for Daddy Change, 4 copies of Emolga with the Nuzlocke Gathering, 1 Oricorio GX, and that's it. Moving on to the trainer cards, we have 4 Evolution Incense, 4 Lost Blenders, 4 Communications, and 3 Scoop Up Nets. Speaking about supporter cards, 2 copies of Boss Order, 2 copies of the Entei, 4 Elms, 1 Research, and 4 2-line of Twin and Grass Energy. And that's what makes this deck so special. Whimsicott, Eldegoss, Scoop Up Net, Boss Order, and that's just, really, really good. Alright, so before we actually start to play some games, make sure to hit a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more videos, and also let me know in the comments below what you think about this deck list, so see you in the game. Okay, so I'm good to go, and it looks like I can start first, so let's see if we can have explosive turn 1. Hopefully that's going to be the case. So I'm gonna put my Hoppip on the bench. Lost Blender is a top deck. That is a very nice top deck. Let's see. Alright, energy. I'm thinking, to be honest, about just passing the turn for now. Since I have Hoppip on the bench, I can at least have Jumpluff turn 2 in play. plus technically Whimsicott as well for the Prowl. Or maybe not. So there's gonna be the more. Alright. Still, there is a Twin Energy Evolution Instance as well as Communication for Whimsicott. So this seems to be even better in my opinion than it was. So, Darkness Energy for Psy Power. 3 damage counters if my opponent is smart enough to... Yes, he is. Alright, another Hoppip. That's going to be a Evolution Instance for nothing less but for the Skipper. Twin Energy Communication play for my Dedenne GX. So I can use that Daddy Change, but before Daddy Change, let's go with Floor Pad to the Sky for that jump hit. So jump hits the ground. And the most important thing is that I can hit floor 60, and that should be enough for the knockout. But we want a little bit more of that. So let's go with Communication. And let's grab that Oricorio. The reason for that decision is simple. For now, let me just... Actually, let me get that Baton on the bench as well. Just if my opponent managed to knock me out, I can actually Whimsicott available for play. There is Elden Sweet. Alright. So there is one research for 7. Stamp discarded. Alright. There's a Spiritomb. So this looks like to be a Spiritomb deck, but since I took the first prize card in the game, I think I'm actually in a very good position. Because exchanging prize cards advantage over my opponent, but the problem is that I have 2 GX on my bench. The first one is the Dedenne and the second one is Oricorio. And right now my opponent also decided to place one Dedenne on the bench because he's missing that energy in order to attack, so fight. That's going to be devastating for my opponent to basically miss opportunity to attack and take the knockout this time. Because he will be like 2 prize in disadvantage already. But he can easily recover from that just by using 2 boss orders on both of my GXs on the bench. And there's a Scoop Up Net, so he looks like he wants to put that Oranguru in the front instead of just losing the attacking equipment. There we go. And it is my turn, so luckily I managed to survive here. Okay, let me see. Should I maybe take the boss order? Or should I actually just go for that another Skiploom? I think I'm going to just grab myself another Skiploom. Discard a couple more Pokemons into the Lost, and then try to deal some damage. The bad thing is that I can only knockout. Somehow I think that maybe boss order play wouldn't be a bad idea as well. I could for sure take the knockout against that Spiritomb on the bench. I really want to take double knockout against the Dedenne later in the game. Somehow I feel that's going to be much more important instead of just knocking the Spiritomb right now, because I already have like 1 prize advantage. And my opponent is pretty lucky there with that Oranguru, and he simply managed to avoid another knockout, so there's the Hustle Belt. And the question remains, can he find himself right now some type of the Scoop Up Net or Switch and Energy card in order to attack with the Spiritomb? So there is a Buzzwole as well in this build. Alright, but where is the ADP? ADP is also the card that he needs to find. And it is my turn, so unfortunately for my opponent, he couldn't do too much, so he lost marches for 100. That's really pretty much all I can do. And there's a Trambic. So right now, when he knocks me out, I can throw down Trambic, potentially discard something. He really wants to get that Oricorio in the active position and knock him out, but obviously he didn't get lucky with the catcher there. That's a huge advantage for me because technically speaking, if I lose that Oricorio, I won't be able to draw cards, and Oricorio is actually a very important piece of puzzle here, especially somewhere in the late game when your opponent can simply stamp you down to like one card, maybe two. That's why he really doesn't need to go for another, you know, active Spiritomb, but he rather decided to do it. So there's a Puzzle Belt and another research. So he threw like three research so far, and yeah, that was the third research. So my opponent played 3 research. I'm still struggling to get a first supporter card in play. And energy on Mew. Alright, so okay, interesting. So he really wants to put a damage on my active Cotone, and then 2 on the bench 1, which basically puts me in the position where I really need to evolve my Cotone sooner or later. Alright, let's see what can be the top deck. Top deck is the Darkness. So first things first, Dance of the Tribute. 3 cards, and 3 interesting cards, nonetheless. Let me get some Emolga so I can discard him into my Lost Zone with that Lost Blender. And there is a Twin Energy. So with that Twin Energy as the top deck, I'm just going to thin my deck as much as possible. And what I'm gonna do next, I'm just looking forward to retreat onto the Cotone and hit with him for another Lost. The reason why I really want to have Cotone in the active position is the Dienta. Dienta is a very powerful card. It says that you can play this card only if one of your favorite Pokemon was knocked out during your opponent's last turn, so you can put 2 cards from your discard pile back in your hand. And technically speaking, sorry for that, I can grab myself 2 Twin Energies, and I can just reload my another Cotone and attack with him. So and I'm thinking about maybe trying to force Fion play sooner or later. Let's see what we can find with the Mountain Pass. Mewtwo is a top deck for my opponent. So let's go with that Dienta for Lost Blender and for Evolution Incense. Since I have energy, I'm not gonna need another one for now. Alright. I'm gonna finish the game next turn. So for now, I'm just gonna grab myself this Jumpluff so I can Lost Blender it for communication. Okay, that's okay. How many Cotones? So let's see if we can find another Cotone and put it on the bench. Yes, we can. That is exactly what I need. Dance of the Tribute. Cards. Lost Blender. Another one. Okay, I'm gonna throw that Eldegoss. Not the smartest idea to throw him out, but there's the Evolution Incense, so I can relive. I can put that Twin Energy on my Cotone, and basically I can just use Lost March for 180 damage. Grab myself a prize card, which is a And basically with Evolution Incense, next turn I can search the Whimsicott. With the Whimsicott ability I can grab myself Boss Order, and I can target the Dingy X on the bench for 2 price card knockout. And with that being said, I can win the game by taking the last 2 price cards. So even if my opponent can throw down somehow, let's say, knock it against Oricorio, which really doesn't matter anyways. Alright, so he have Mewtwo in his hand, I know that for sure. I really want to see my opponent deck list. I'm wondering if he plays ADP or not. Probably he play ADP, but he really didn't want to play so my opponent conceded the game before we ended. So Mewtwo, Spiritomb, Jinx, Mew, Aerodactyl, alright, a Ringaroo, Buzzwole, Tapu Fini, Blacephalon, as well as Dean. Unfortunately for my opponent, he didn't play ADP. And I was kind of lucky because he didn't flip a single heads on the Pokemon Catcher, and that actually puts me in a very good position because I was able to basically draw cards with my Oricorio for the win. So that's the GG. Alright my friends, so we are back with the game number 2 of this beautiful Lost March build. So I'm going to start with my Hoppip in the active position. I also have Emolga available for the bench, but a little bit later about Emolga. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm just gonna pass the turn. That's literally going to be it. Turn 2, I can play Elm or Research. Somehow I think it might be smarter and better to go with the Elm, but my opponent just throws the Marnie and puts me down to 4 cards. But I really need to be honest, it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad. So Katone can simply hit for the weakness ADP. And that is a really huge nightmare. A big nightmare for ADP deck, no doubt about that. And it looks gorgeous. I have Jumpluff available for him into play. As well as that Whimsicott, which is one thing. I can search my deck for a card. And the card that I'm gonna grab myself, it's gonna be Research. So I'm gonna throw the Research for 7. Yep. Research for 7 because I need to set up, but not in this way. Not in this way. Okay. With that being said, I can Nuzlocke Gathering for 1 more. And just hit with the Lost March for 40. Actually for 10 because, oh my goodness. How in the world I forget that Zacian has resistance minus 30 on the grass. That's ridiculous. But it makes sense. It definitely makes sense because if Pokemon is a metal type Pokemon, he shouldn't have, you know, he should have resistance in the grass because what in the world grass can do against metal? Pretty much nothing, you know. If you're a leaf type, you can't do too much. Oh, look at the Marnie. So that's a very nice Marnie because my hand was just absolutely mess. And this looks much better because, again, I can grab myself Whimsicott, search the deck for a card that I really need. Plus I can put Hoppip on the bench. This time I'm aiming for something like, there's a catcher. Luckily it is a Tails on the coin flip. This time I'm gonna aim for, I don't know to be honest, probably for Zacian managed to find third energy. Oh, Whimsicott is here. So let's see then, Evolution Incense for some type of the Trumpic play. Mountain Pass. I'm thinking about throwing that Boss Order to my opponent, and that's kind of risky play, but I don't know, maybe I should do that. But the problem is that I really want to keep my boss for that ADP, and technically I can do that, but I think that for me it might be much smarter to... I think that personally for me it's probably gonna be much smarter to grab myself Oricorio and put it on the bench, or maybe Eldegoss Wii as well. So I can basically put Eldegoss on the bench and throw another research for 7. Yeah. That's also part of the plan. Alright, so I do have Mountain Pass. Damage. And I'm gonna grab myself just Skip Plume. Now I'm gonna go for that Whimsicott. But I think that's gonna be it for now. I can hit for 80 and that's just not enough, so I think it's pretty much fairly enough to retreat on the Emolga and let my opponent to knock that Emolga out. So again, I can have free retreat Pokemon available to retreat on the Cotone if it's necessary. And there's there's Energy Spinner from my opponent. And technically speaking, I discarded my Crosswater, and right now I can't catch that ADP on the bench, so I'm gonna need to one-hit Knockoutization. In order to one-hit Knockoutization, I will need 13 Pokemons in my Law Zone. And that's a lot. That's a lot. And I need like 7 for ADP. The good thing is that even if my opponent uses GX attack, without Eldegoss knockout, he won't be able to do much anyways. And my top deck is a Skip. Such a nice top deck. I need those Lost Blenders so badly, as well as that Dianta. So I don't know, Elm for another combination of the Lost March. So I'm hitting at this moment for 2, 4, 6. And if I use that Whimsicott, in theory, if I grab myself some sort of, let's say, a Lost Blender, I won't be able to do too much. But still, taking the Lost Blender and discarding, let's say, Emolga and Jumpluff will allow me to get another card. So I think it's a good time to retreat and to hit with my Cotone Lost March 160. Then again, that's not even close for the one-hit knockout, but still 170 damage in that Zacian Wii. Not that bad. Especially considering the fact that my opponent will probably try to steal the game here with that GX attack. And with that being said, I'm gonna need to find a way somehow to prevent my opponent from taking the knockout against my Eldegoss Wii. Otherwise, if he takes the knockout against him, it will be 3 prize card reward for him, so technically speaking, he will need to knock more than 50. Alright, Twin Energy as the top deck. Ha, okay. Just a Lost March for 3 prize card knockout. There we go. What I can get. Communication, that's a good card. Lost Blender, that's even better card. And another Communication, that's also a good card. So, 3 prize knockout, so I lead my opponent for 2 prize cards, but once he knocked my Cotone, he will also go down to 3 prize cards, but once I knock his Zacian out, I will go down to 1 prize. The same thing can be applied to my opponent, but I will be in 1 turn advantage against him. So I think at the end I will win this game. I mean, I don't think he can actually win this game anymore, even if he can knock my Eldegoss Wii right now. Actually, okay, so yeah, with the Malevolent Lana he can heal some damage, but it wouldn't change things dramatically. I already have plenty of Pokemon available in my Lost Zone. And the big problem for my opponent is the fact that he really needs the knock against that Eldegoss. And he really needs to take the knock against that Eldegoss right now or the next turn in order to win this game. If that doesn't happen, the game is over. And I wonder what is the last card in my opponent's hand. He can always use that Intrepid Sword. So there's the Stellar Wish. Now, when I know that I don't have my Boss Order available, I can just use Lost Blender. The first thing that I will do, I'll grab myself. Okay, so he can even evolve that Copperage into the VMAX, and that's 340 HP. That's 12 Pokemon in the for 3 price card knockout, and if I count the amount of the Lost Zone Pokemon that I have at this moment, that's like 8. So 65% so far, and Intrepid Sword. Yes, expected. Jirachi didn't wake up, and neither Zacian find a way to get the energy. Alright, let's see what we can do. Communication first for that Whimsicott, because I have 2 of them in my hand. Into the Trumbeak. So Mountain Pass. Okay, Bucket is a top. That's weird. Alright. Let's try to get an extra card with the Lost Blender. It's the end. It's a perfect card. 2 energy. And I'm good to Lost March. That is a knockout. And I can grab another Hoppip. So, with that being said, the only way for my opponent somehow to avoid the knockout is to attack with his Copperage VMAX. But I don't think that's just possible at this moment, because he had really bad start. He didn't start with Jirachi, he didn't flip heads on the coin flip. Marty was good for me. I managed to control the game from the beginning, and the only thing that I can do, just, you know, hope for the good strong top deck. But I'm hitting for 220, which means that I can one-hit knock out that Zacian anyways. We'll play to our opponent, because that Katone should do the job. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, 4, 6, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, that's 220. That's exactly what we need. 220. And I even have 2 Dianthus as well. 220 and 2 price cards. It works good. That works good. No question about it. I'm very pleased by the performance. And pretty much standard ADP Zacian deck list with Copperage VMAX as a tech, but without boss orders, as we can see, but with the Pokemon catchers. It's pretty much flip or rip, you know. If you flip tails on the coin flip, you did nothing, you know. So that's why I actually like to say flip or rip, you know, for the Pokemon catcher. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Make sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more videos. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Till then, have a nice day and goodbye.